potentially falling through the cracks. How? The email campaign is inventory specific, and once your customer views a certain number of videos, the AutoPlay software automatically creates a lead which is allocated to the dashboard of the salesperson that created the original lead. So, how do we get started with creating a live leads email campaign? Firstly, you need the right email template and the right permission set up on your account. If you haven't done so already, email support@autoplay.co.nz with your request. Now let's get to step 1. You can choose to display between 3 to 15 vehicles on your campaign, and a video needs to be built for each of these listings. This process can be actioned on the AutoPlay desktop app only. Let's go to the Listings tab. Decide on which vehicles you will use on your campaign. Double-click on the chosen vehicle. Go to the menu option here, which is represented by the 3 horizontal lines. Let's go to Listing, Rebuild MP4. Do you want to build and replace any existing videos for this listing? Yes. Your video will be built within the hour. Check your email for the downloaded MP4 file. Okay. Now, repeat this process for each of the cars you wish to include on the campaign. Do be aware that each video can take up to an hour to render, and once this process is completed, you will receive a confirmation email. All the required videos can be selected to render simultaneously. Now let's go to step 2. Let's review the threshold setup to automatically create a follow-up for the customer. Again, this is actioned on the desktop app only. To do this, let's go to the left-hand side panel, Settings, Sales Pipeline Settings, Live Leads Settings. You will notice that AutoPlay would have already set this up for you, but it is good to know where this section lives so that you can go in and amend it in the future should you wish to do so. You'll see it's labeled Automatic Follow-up. Type. We would recommend you leave it as such for easy identification on leads that are created later on. Campaign. Again, we do recommend you leave that as such for easy tracking within your marketing ROI report. You can choose whether you want to use the recipient opening the email or viewing a video that prompts a follow-up. We recommend setting a threshold of 3 video views to make sure the follow-up is being generated on leads that have a reasonable amount of interaction with your email. I'm just going to close out of there. Now let's go through to step 3. Let's build the email campaign. This process can be completed either on the desktop app or on the iPad. On this webinar, I will show you how to complete the process on the desktop app only. However, we will send out a video tutorial that will show you how to complete the process on the iPad as well. To create your live leads, let's once again start at the left-hand side menu. Okay, let's go to Emails, Live Leads. Okay, now on the right here, you have the option to create live leads email. Firstly, how do we want to follow up, manually or automatically? Let's select the template. It is very clearly labeled live leads. Now let's go through and type in your subject heading. Now this subject heading is the subject line that will display on your customer's email. Message. This is whatever text you may wish to add on your email campaign. Now let's save. At this point, let's go to the red plus next to listings and select our cars. You will note that only the vehicles that already have that MP4 video built will be open for selection here. Okay, now your cars do display in multiples of 3 on your email campaign. So as I mentioned earlier, you can choose between 3 to 15 cars at this point. Let's save. If you wish to change the position of any of these cars, you may do so using these arrows. Let's preview this email. Okay. Your campaign will display your dealership's logos and represented brands. When the customer views the video, it is derived from the photos you have taken of your listing, and the preset slide-out transitions are pulled from the data you have entered for that listing. Now let's select our customer base. So by means of groups here, you can email to an uploaded contact group. However, you do want to maintain the link with the leads you have created within the last month in the sales pipeline, and you can do this via the Build Recipient list. Now this is how you really target your customers. Type, lead, or prospect. Okay, so prospect is available to certain AutoPlay customers only and may not be relevant to you, so let's select lead for this exercise. Date range. We recommend focusing on leads captured last month or this month rather than sending to a large database that cannot be realistically managed. Source. You can select multiple sources. Likewise with campaign, you can select multiple. Test drive. Yes or no, appraisal, yes or no. What does that mean? Well, has a test drive or appraisal form been completed on the lead? Progress. So if you are not using the sales pipeline forms, you may choose to target customers that have reached a particular stage on the road to sale. This is represented by the progress field on the lead. For example, you may decide you wish to target customers that have done a test drive. If you tick test drive only, the system will pull through customers that are currently on test drive. However, if you also tick trade-in, present deal, and finance, this will extract customers that have done a test drive and then progressed past that point. Okay. You can also target customers that have closed leads. You can choose to select, let me just untick those, closed loss specifically. And you can even drill down to specific closed loss reasons, such as delayed purchase decision or price, especially if you're running a sale at the moment. You may also decide you would like to market to customers that have had leads created on a particular make and model. Now you may save. Once saved, you can view your recipient list. Now these are the customers that the email will go out to. And you can send your email. Once you have given your customers a chance to view your campaign, possibly about 24 hours, I'm sure you'd be very interested to check the results. How do we do that? Let's go back to our left-hand panel. Under Emails, Live Leads. So this takes you back to the Live Leads dashboard. Now I'm going back to one that I've created earlier. Double-click into the campaign that you've selected of your choice. And you see here there's an option here for results. Now what are we looking at? Wherever you see a chevron, clicking on this will give you more information. For example, customer's name. Let's click on that chevron. This takes you through to the customer activity screen. So you can see what leads the customer has had in the past or present, and if any appraisals have been done for them. Let's click on lead. This will take you to the latest lead and let you see exactly where the customer is on that lead. Video views. So this shows you exactly which cars the customer clicked on and how many times they viewed each car. Now, if you had selected automatic follow-up, you would see under the action taken column what has happened with that customer. Now, if I click, so over here we can see a new lead was created because this customer did click on those videos in excess of 3 times. Let's click on the wee chevron. And you can see here that on the created lead, under next actions, is a note, a follow-up created. If we click into that follow-up, you will see a standard note that's placed there, allowing it to be easily recognized as a follow-up from the Live Leads program. Now, also further down on that note, it'll let you know exactly which cars the customer was interested in and how many times they viewed each car. If, however, you selected a manual follow-up, you can go through and singly tick off which lead or customer you want to address. You can also select bulk select over here and then cut selects recipients that have opened email, viewed video, etc. Let's stick with opened email. Done. Now we can click on Create New Lead. Now this gives me the option to assign those leads to the original lead owner. Now we do recommend you leave it as such so that it encourages your team to load leads into AutoPlay. However, you do have the option to select other members of your team should you wish to do so. The date and time defaults into 1 hour in the future, and that can be changed if you wish. The type is a live leads follow-up, and the campaign will select live leads because, again, this is a great way of tracking these leads in your marketing ROI report. Let's click on Save. This pop-up box is informing us that we have created 1 new lead and we have created 1 follow-up on existing leads. Now, what does that mean? So for customers who have closed leads, a new lead will be created on the dashboard. However, for customers who may currently have an open lead, a follow-up will be created under next actions within their current open lead. For live leads recipients who were a prospect, a new lead will be created. Now, let's check how these leads are tracking. To do that, let's go through to the left-hand panel, Sales Pipeline, the dashboard. Let's go to Campaigns. Let's filter that out to Live Leads. Now, if you want to capture all leads that have come through on your live leads, you may wish to change your date range to All. If we double-click on one of those leads, you will see exactly where that lead is at. So, as you have seen, the Enhanced Live Leads program gives you the opportunity to have that second bite at the cherry, especially with your closed loss leads. Also, follow-up is incredibly easy. Look, thank you so much for joining us, everyone. This is the end of the training session. We do wish you the greatest success in using AutoPlay's enhanced live leads email campaign. Do remember to arrange the live lead setup on your account, and if you have any further questions, please email support@autoplay.co.nz. Have a great day.